We just got our first look at a brand new Velociraptor for the next Jurassic Park movie. And I know that a lot of people might find its design pretty interesting because it looks like it's got some kind of weird prototype design of different animals that we've seen over the course of the entire franchise, all combined together. There's also been some other reveals of other dinosaur designs and marketing material, and with Jurassic World Rebirth coming out in under 5 months, we actually have a lot to go over. What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now, when it comes to this new Velociraptor design, we can see that the animal on display here is looking very much like a combination of a bunch of different raptors from the other Jurassic Park movies put together. The overall body design still retains some of that Jurassic World look from the last 3 movies, especially in the skull, but the quills on the animal's head are taken straight out of Jurassic Park 3. Meanwhile, it's got a cool tiger-striped look around the snout that is clearly inspired from the Lost World, and both of those raptor designs are male variants from Isla Sorna. So with this new movie taking place on a brand new island that is supposedly the very first experimentation lab that John Hammond ever set up, it's raising a lot of questions in regards to what it could mean for the island and what all of this new dinosaur stuff means for the connection to not only the plot of the movie but the other Jurassic Park movies. Truthfully, I think they just wanted to design a new raptor for this film and pay homage to the older variants from the last several movies, you know, just to make a fun connection to Site B. But I will say that I personally find this to be a pretty fun design because we don't really know what capacity the raptors are going to be used in Jurassic World Rebirth, but with them combining all of these older designs and saying this was the original island, as convoluted as that is, it kind of is fun. It's hard to say what other species we're going to get, and I don't really want to speculate on them because, you know, you kind of have to wait and see, because nobody had heard any rumors or leaks about something like, let's say, Dilophosaurus being in this movie. And you know, that just showed up straight away in the trailers, so they could drag and drop any CGI asset into their film. When it comes to these raptors, they're pretty cool to see actually rolled out for the movie. I will say that I'm liking the attention to detail and how they tie into the first 2 sequels. And look, I know some people like to look at movies like Jurassic Park 3 and talk about how massive of a role those raptors played in that movie's plot, but truthfully, guys, and I know this might come as a surprise to some fans, but the raptors in Jurassic Park 3 only show up in like 3 scenes. Technically only 2, because one location is just continued over into the very next. But it's the overall presence of the raptors that actually makes them a big threat in JP3, and not just their screen time overall. Velociraptors have always been one of the species that InGen has had a problem with ever since the first movie, and not only do they attack park workers and guests, but they even attack other raptors in the films. So if these things are supposed to be super early variants, I wonder if we'll see some of that behavior in the new movie and how much of it we're gonna actually get. You don't have to have the whole movie being raptors throughout. I mean, just talking about them builds them up. Think back to the original Jurassic Park when raptors are kind of, you know, talked about being these bloodthirsty, murderous creatures throughout the whole movie, but you don't really get to see them until the very end. That's great world building and really good writing to establish your villain dinosaurs.
You stare at him, and he just stares right back.
Michael Crichton wrote some really great scenes about how monstrous the cloned raptors were on Sorna and how every animal fought for itself and was covered in scars. So it might be a cool idea to do something like that for this new movie. That being said, I will make a point of this creature specifically having male Velociraptor attributes with its scales and quills. So we might actually get a new female design to go along with it. This is probably just what one of the dinosaurs looks like and not every single member of its species on the island. Usually we get a male raptor and a female raptor. So if this is the male, who knows what the other one looks like? Speaking of the island, by the way, guys, with these animals running around on this forgotten place, I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna do with the raptors and the plot. A friend of mine that's been on the channel before in the past, paleontologist James Ronan, actually pointed out to me that the raptor scene in the trailer looks an awful lot like the concept art for the Lost World Jurassic Park, where the clawed feet are roaming about a building with water all over the floor. I know this is usually taken to be concept art for the SS Venture, but again, I have never seen any script that had Velociraptor velociraptors on board the ship from the Lost World. It was always supposed to be the Tyrannosaurus in the scripts I read. So yeah, I think this guy right here might be Vince Vaughn's character of Nick Van Owen, and we're looking at concept art for the Worker Village. So if they are taking some inspiration from older Jurassic Park scripts, David Koepp has even come back and he's even openly said, yeah, we're dropping stuff from the books and other stuff we never used before. Has anyone ever entertained the idea that these velociraptors could be showing up in the lab that we see in the trailer? I've done videos on this before too, but way back in the Jurassic Park 3 days, the original plan for that movie was for Dr. Grant and the others to make the Embryonics Administration a base of operations before they were attacked and forced out by a pack of velociraptors. You can kind of see that happen in the film, but originally they were supposed to like stay there overnight, and it even led into a whole like motorcycle chase that was never in Jurassic Park 3, but of course you saw that get used in Jurassic World and Jurassic World Dominion. So personally, I do think it could be a good theory to say that these older prototype raptors attack this new location, or maybe even the dock where the D-Rex might be in the movie trailer because of all the water around their feet. Other than that, guys, we've got to look at both the Spinosaurus and Tyrannosaur designs on similar pieces of marketing material. And look, the T-Rex looks very different to what we saw in the trailer. So it's hard to tell whether the Spinosaurus is equally different due to us not getting a good look of that animal above the water just yet. And it also is something to talk about in regards to the Velociraptor, because these are not like full-on CGI models or animatronics. It's really just a rendition of the creature. They could look very different in the finished film. But I gotta say, the tiger stripe snout, the quills on the back of the head, and the overall shape of the animal's body is pretty cool. I'm liking the way these look, and if they're supposed to be prototypes of the velociraptors we see in the other movies, it goes a long way to show their actual connection to this new island. I still think it's kind of crazy to just think up a brand new place, but hopefully they'll hit a home run and make everything make sense in the actual film. With that being said, guys, what do all of you think? What are your thoughts on this new Velociraptor design? And why do you think they're choosing to go back to the Lost World in Jurassic Park 3 in terms of referencing it? I mean, was this place supposed to be Sorna originally? Or is this just a fun little way to like tie in the first two sequels? Whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video. And as always, take it easy.